What is up, Nerd Herd? I am the Dot, and I have a very special treat for you tonight. Trading card games are back, and the nostalgia has us feeling like it's 1999 again. And like any franchise during the 90s, we wanted to capitalize on this gimmick while it's still hot. While trading card games seem like they've been a long-standing form of entertainment, trading card games have only been around for about 30 years or so, and it has a unique history that's worth investing some time into. In this video, we are looking at the history of TCG, where it came from, and where it's going. Open up those binders, because it's about to get serious.
I'm not getting in that. No fucking way, dude. I am not doing that.
Before we begin, let's define what a trading card game is. A trading card game is a card-based game, made with semi-unique but mass-produced collectible cards that can be used to play a strategic game. Trading card games must offer players diverse strategy options to get to one ultimate goal, and the cards must be circulated in and out of regulation in order to create a living meta. But where did trading card games start? Obviously, the origin starts with card games in general. Scholars believe that card games were invented in China during the Tang Dynasty around the 9th century AD. They were a natural progression of the common tile, chess, and dice games typically played. The implementation of cards is suspected to have come in when people wanted to use the betting money as playable figures in the game. This led to a number of different card games, mostly used for gambling, but it wouldn't be till the turn of the 20th century that the collectible aspect came into play. Collectible cards started with baseball cards in the early 19th century. Cigarette companies jumped on the trend and included cards in their packs featuring sports heroes, beautiful women, and iconic individuals as a means of connecting with customers and building brand loyalty. But the first official TCG game isn't nearly as old, and in fact, the modern TCG game began in 1993 with a man named Richard C. Garfield. It was the early spring of 1993 when Richard Garfield decided to create a cheaper version of the average everyday tabletop game that could easily be played in the downtime at conventions. He wanted to create a fantasy-based game with interchangeable cards and decks that could be built for specific styles of play. And in Fort Worth, Texas at the Origins Game Fair, Richards premiered Magic the Gathering to the world. This was the beginning of the first era that I want to talk about, which I'll call the first bubble. Magic the Gathering took the world by storm and quickly bloomed into its own, selling out of its initial 2.6 million card print in nearly 1 month. Large-scale Magic tournaments began happening as early as 1994, and this momentum eventually caught the eye of what would become the biggest name in the trading card game scene, Wizards of the Coast. Cards around this time almost all looked alike. There was themes of Satanism, conspiracy, and gothic horror were very common, as these were sold in comic book shops to a demographic people assumed were exclusively Gen X men. Wizards of the Coast began buying all of these smaller franchises, keeping the successful ones to themselves. The market quickly became oversaturated and faced a steep decline in 96 to 99. But everything changed in 99 when Japan entered the trading card game.
It's really, I think, an okay thing for the kids because they learn to save their allowance, to budget for it, and they learn to trade and be kind of reasonable with their friends.
So it's 1999, right? Pokemon Red and Green are flying off the shelves in Japan, and Red and Blue versions are just hitting the US. Ishihara, the founder of Creators Inc., who is a huge Magic the Gathering fan, comes up with the idea to convert Pokemon cards into a game. And we all know what happens next. The popularity of Pokemon the trading card game is really unmatched. It was one of those you had to be there moments of a lifetime, especially for TCG fans. Another big thing that Pokemon did for TCG is it introduced a new prize card system, which is a completely new win condition that changed how trading card games as we know it are played. The resounding waves of popularity gave a rise to a new generation for TCG history. The resounding waves of popularity also gave rise to a new generation of copycats as well. Major franchises like Star Wars and Dragon Ball Z got in on the TCG craze. While most of these failed, one TCG game did rise among this time and has still remained a noble competitor.
I know marijuana is harmful. I know it can't improve my game. I will never dishonor myself or my friends by using drugs. That's playing a game I can't win. Honor my anti-drug.
Yu-Gi-Oh came into the scene when the TCG craze was in full swing, and it fully capitalized on the opportunity. What started off as a manga born in the craze era, it capitalized effectively on the popularity of TCG. The franchise became immensely popular as the series slowly taught players not only about the game and its lore, but how to play the game as well. But popularity for trading card games began to decline, and many of the young fans who fueled the craze era slowly grew out of the medium. From 2008 to 2012 was a really rough time for TCG in general. As the recession hit, the second-hand market was created and values were determined. The big three, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Magic, were forced to innovate, creating new kinds of cards with varying degrees of rarity and gimmicks to keep people interested. Some series like Bakugan incorporated collectibles into their games to keep the momentum going. This is where a lot of franchises went digital and found a new resurgence in popularity among players. This is the beginning of a digital nostalgia era. Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and others had digital versions of their game for a while, but they typically fell short of the actual experiences by a long shot. This started to shift in the early 2010s as physical cards began declining in popularity. Cue in Hearthstone. Created as a nostalgia experiment by Blizzard creators, Hearthstone mixed traditional TCG elements with the benefits of the digital age and launched TCG into a new popularity as an esport. 2020 and the pandemic has played a major role for TCG.
I mean, if anything, Mayweather needs to knock him out because the man entered the ring with a gold-plated Pokemon chain.
Yes.
What is going on?
As cards became more and more scarce, people got more and more time on their hands, and popular YouTubers like Logan Paul and A-Drive started flipping sets of Pokemon cards for crazy amounts of money. This attracted the attention not only of fans, but wealthy investors that were trying to get rich quick. It's not uncommon to find unboxing videos on YouTube from just a few months ago featuring people who have no idea what Pokemon is, but are flexing that base set Charizard real hard. This increased value and popularity, coupled with the limited ability to print cards and keep retail stores in stock, has created the perfect storm for Pokemon TCG popularity. So much so that they're even beating out Magic the Gathering in sales. Like the original craze, the Pokemon boom has brought others up with it, as Yu-Gi-Oh also has an emerging second-hand market. Whether this new boom in popularity is good or bad is yet to be determined. It has brought a lot of new people into trading card games, but it's also stolen experiences that a lot of us millennials had as kids during that first initial craze. And being a kid in the pandemic is hard enough as it is. Well, there you have it, folks. The history of TCG broken down into nice, digestible chunks for you guys. If you enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed making it, please be sure to like, subscribe, follow, do all of the things, and be sure to catch Geek Life Live, 7 p.m. Central Time, only on twitch.tv. That'll do it for this video. We'll see you next time.